Hey everybody. I want to just kind of review over some of the different forms that everybody has created. My guess is you had quite a bit of a challenge on this one because it's tricky. So this is the starting point that I left you with my GitLab commit. And I wanted to point out this is what I mean by lined up. See how those text boxes are lined up and the labels go off to the left? It's a bit of a challenge. The other challenge is this border here is you don't always want it there. You kind of maybe want it over there. Probably one of the easiest things to do is just not have the border for that and maybe do something a little bit different. But nobody really asked about that. I'm not sure anybody paid much attention to it. But what I want to do now is I want to demonstrate everybody's style on my form. So I have my form sitting here. Oops, get rid of that. And what I want to do, this is the basic form. I just put a monospace font is the only style associated with it. And I've set it up so I can go through everybody's style and apply them to this to see how they look. So a couple things to start off with. There is no order, it's random, so we have no idea who created what style. You may never see your style because it looks so different on my screen that you don't notice it. Generally that is because this particular form doesn't have a header, a nav, or an article element. So depending upon how you've used your selectors, they may or may not actually be applied to this. So if you used your selector based upon an article element being present, it doesn't show up. Okay? So the only thing that you can count on would be is the ID of pound form, and then all of the form elements just like my example. So it's not surprising sometimes that your style doesn't show up here or doesn't show up the way you think. That is why on the peer grading that we actually have the option. You actually have to click the person's, go to the person's website to see just how it fits. Okay, so let's take a quick peek. When I was looking at earlier, many of them weren't done, so it doesn't change at all. But there we've got a little bit of a gray and green, not lined up at all. Basic form. Basic form, I don't know, I'd say you're looking at, I don't know, C- range probably. Let's look at this one. This one is really funny. I did look at this one live, and it looks so vastly different. The person will never recognize this. And so this one just looks awful. None of the CSS is actually being applied very well. So we'll just go to another one. They probably didn't get it done. Here we've got just a basic blue form, nothing special, not lined up, so that kind of messes it up a little bit. A form doesn't have to be super. In fact, I mean, a color coding scheme is not bad. The blue here is a little bit hard. What I notice here is a placeholder text doesn't fit, so make it shorter. Don't put it there if you don't need it. Okay, or make your input box bigger. Must not have gotten it done yet. Okay, there's not bad. It's not looking exactly right. Some of the things that may show up as well is that this screen that I'm looking at in the video is 1024 pixels wide. We never know exactly how large or small somebody's screen is going to be. My actual monitor screen is twice this size. Okay, this is an interesting dilemma here, and I had to play around with this. You can either move your legend down or move it up, and I talked about that in the extra.css. Text is a little bit light, kind of hard to see, so I might have to darken it. You'll probably just have it black would be fine. So this grade here is, I'm thinking probably a C plus B minus is probably where it will fall. Okay. The green is kind of hard to see. Basic form, a little bit of rounding, not lined up. Forgot to round this one, so not consistent. Nice try on the rounding though. Everything else looks pretty much exactly the same. Probably a little bit of space there would be nice. Could always just type the space bar if need be. Could fix that with a little padding probably. Oops, I did not look at this one online, but I saw it earlier. Clearly not prepared to fit on a 1024 screen monitor. I have no idea what those are. Mountain biking messed it up. Actually, I guess it got the size really messed it up. But 1024 is a pretty large screen. So, you know, we strike back down. We're in like the C-ish range, I would guess. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'd give it a C range. There we go. We got a little bit of graphic. Looks nice. Got some alignment problems going on here. Not bad. I think it needs something. Probably putting last name, you know, having these stretch all the way out and nothing else over here just kind of makes it look kind of funny. Um, yeah. But now we're probably no major issues at this point. I don't want to resize the screen or anything at the moment. I want to keep them all this size. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. But, you know, probably somewhere in the B-ish range. Okay, pretty poor color choices going on here. I really can't read it myself. Got quite the mixture of colors, red, white, blue, a couple different shades of blue. Doesn't line up, dropping you down to the C-ish range, C- range probably. Basic, not bad. Lined it up and it wouldn't be all that bad. In fact, if you line these up to smooth it out, my guess is it's going to be very responsive and a nice background graphic could touch it off. But so probably C plus-ish, B range. B minus range, I should say. Pretty much the same thing, just different color. A little bit different here. They've stretched everything out. Not sure what happened with miscellaneous value or email. Something didn't work out right there. They forgot to do something. Otherwise, pretty basic. Basic, like I said, is not necessarily bad. Not consistent, so I'm thinking C-ish, somewhere around there. You're shouting at me with that red color scheme. Hopefully it fits your actual site. Otherwise, it looks like everybody else is not lined up. So it's in the C, C- range. Yellow, not bad. We have to see how it looks with the actual site. Lining it up wouldn't be all that bad. Make it nice and smooth. I'm going to say the yellow is too bright, but possibly on the actual site it may look okay. Here we go. We got a little bit of action. Doesn't look like it layered well with the graphics. So if we remove that graphics, some interesting things going on. Doesn't quite fit. We have to scroll, which is kind of a pain. Line these up. This text is just too hard to read. Maybe go with the same whatever color that is instead of too many colors is what I'm thinking. Okay, some alignment issues, but yeah, we can see somebody trying some nice things. I like it. You know, kind of goes out of the box there. Missed something, but I'd probably put that in the B- range. Pretty basic. You know, I've seen a bunch of them. They look exactly like this. And also pretty basic. I mean, the form comes out exactly the same. So it's kind of, so nothing special. I bet a lot of you had trouble with your alternate style as well, because coming up with your first style, a lot of you have said you're not creative, and it's tricky, and it is, and it's hard, and you're going to struggle on it, and that's the whole point of the assignment. I gave you those links for those real fancy designs, and you know, it really does boil down to getting things lined up, picking the right color scheme, picking a nice graphic to go with it, and the appropriate colors, and a little bit of spacing, and it does wonders for your form design. So hopefully you get an idea of how things are working, and you can practice a little bit more on your resume and see just what you can do with CSS. Learn about those different selectors, and I am forcing you in a sense to use just basic HTML and whatever classes that I use to be flexible. Not flexible for you, but flexible in the fact that we can apply your style to my resume, like we applied your style to my form. That doesn't make up your whole grade. I mean, after all, that's why we do have the links going to your site. All right? But hopefully this little video will help. and it gives you a little bit of idea where everybody else is at. Not a lot of creativity going on. It's getting there. It's getting there. Um, I realize how much of a challenge it is, by the way. Um, but I want to encourage, this is what we got to do. We got to step out of our comfort zone and just see what we can come up with. All right?